Good morning. Today on Spotlight, meet the new history-making mayor-elect of Dearborn, Abdullah Hammoud. He is the first Arab American chief executive officer of that city. What are his plans for the future? We'll try to find out. And later on our Sunday morning program, two members of the Michigan Independent Citizens Redistricting Commission will also join us, Brittany Kellum and Doug Clark. It's Sunday, November the 7th. I'm Chuck Stokes, and this is Spotlight. Mayor-elect Hammoud, welcome to Spotlight, and a hearty congratulations to you.
Thank you, and thank you so much for having me.
In a nutshell, what have the last 48 hours been like?
It's been alive and well, little to no sleep. It's been exciting, it's been humbling, it's been overwhelming. And I think I'm still trying to digest all that's happened.
All right.
The days have kind of all become one, and so we're doing what we can.
Very good. Well, just take one day at a time, and it will all come together. This is indeed a historic victory. What message do you hope or do you think this sends, not just to the great city of Dearborn, but to America, because you're getting national and even international attention?
That this is a great American story, that you can have a name that sounds a little different, you can pray a little different, and that you could still be successful in wanting to give back to the community that really provided me with everything in Dearborn. And that in Dearborn, we elect individuals based on the direction in which they lead, no matter the direction in which they pray.
What do you attribute this victory to? As you look back at that campaign trail, was there a key pivotal moment or movement or something you did that said, this connects with the people and that's the person we want?
I think, one of the most pivotal moments I would say was during the catastrophic flooding throughout the summer. Something that we did was retool all of our campaign resources to assist residents with getting the sewage water out of their basements and the debris and furniture, and really just show leadership in a moment of crisis. I think that just demonstrated the type of leader residents can expect to have at City Hall. I'm just a neighbor. I'm a neighbor there, try to provide a helping hand. And should that not be what a mayor is? To be somebody who just, a neighbor with a little extra responsibility, to treat your neighbors and your friends like you treat family. Dearborn is a fairly large city, but we're small enough where we know everyone throughout the city. And in that moment of time, people didn't care for your title. They didn't care what you were running for. They wanted to know, what are you doing right now to help me? And what will you do in the future to prevent this from happening again?
Well, let's piggyback off that, Mr. Mayor-elect, because you know that once you're sworn in officially and once you take the seat and get past those history-making headlines and you get behind the mayor's desk, a whole host of problems are coming your way from every direction. What is it you really want to accomplish? What will your key goals be?
Well, in addition to, building a trustworthy and competent team that can help deliver, we do know that there's a clock on the wall, and it's a question of when is the next heavy rain going to happen that might lead to another catastrophic flooding. So we have to address that. We have a very bad speeding and reckless driving problem that's, not only happening in Dearborn, but all throughout Southeast Michigan. It's kind of terrorizing our streets and making it unsafe for children and families. Those are some of the issues that are top of mind that we know that we have to address when we assume office.
What scares you most about entering this job?
I set a fairly high expectation for myself. What scares me most is not being able to help or address each and every single issue as quickly as I can or as efficiently as I can. Undoubtedly, there will be mistakes. Undoubtedly, we might not always succeed. And so I'm hoping that we're always able to still pick ourselves up and keep moving forward to do what we can best for our residents.
But you're also a graduate of the Gerald Ford School of Public Health at the University of Michigan, certainly a prestigious place. What about that degree perhaps helps you in what you're trying to do there in the city of Dearborn, as well as when you were in the legislature?
On this campaign trail, I was the only one with a public health background. I'm an epidemiologist by trade. And it allowed me to understand the nuances of this pandemic and how to really communicate with residents about, effective public health strategies. And I think that's something that, has been help here in Lansing when the pandemic first hit, and we're trying to work in a bipartisan fashion to deliver for the residents. And hopefully it'll be helpful as the mayor of a city, trying to protect the public health of all its residents as well.
All right, very good. We need to take a quick pause for the cause. We'll come right back with a few more questions. Stay with us. Dearborn is a city riddled with interesting history, some of it good, some of it not so good, but it's also a very diverse community that has been growing and changing, especially over the last 20, 30 years. There are going to be high expectations from you, from a lot of people, but perhaps more from your own community. Does that worry you that they may expect you to do things and move mountains that you might not be able to do in the world of politics?
I look at the whole of Dearborn as my community, and as a child of that community, I know there will be asks of me that we just can't deliver on. But what I learned early on in my tenure in public office is the best thing you can tell somebody is yes. The second best thing you can tell someone is no. And the worst thing you can tell somebody is kind of leave them out there, wondering, can he get it done or can he not get it done? So, I learned that early on, and hopefully we'll apply those principles in the mayor's office as well.
What did you learn in Lansing that you hope will help you in your new role as a chief executive officer of a city?
Well, for the last several years, I've been the Democratic vice chair of the state's largest budget, $30 billion budget, the Health and Human Services budget. And while on this committee, we've learned how a fresh perspective and fresh ideas can lead to cost savings, a savings of taxpayer dollars. It can lead to an improvement of quality of life. And so I'm hoping to bring down that financial expertise to the city of Dearborn that struggles with a higher than normal property tax. Up here in Lansing, I learned that you have to build camaraderie. You have to be able to compromise. That disagreement is healthy. You have to be able to come to the table and determine what policy is best to help improve the quality of life for the most residents. And I think that's something that we can do in working with our council as well.
How will you strike that balance between the business community and economic development in Dearborn and the grassroots?
Something I've done throughout the years is really elevate the voices of neighborhoods and community residents and ask them what it is that they're in search of that be happening in their own backyards. What I've also learned is that sometimes if you pull corporate stakeholders to the table, if you have conversations with them, the outcomes are all in alignment. Maybe the pathway we get there differs. We see it differently. But I do believe if you pull everybody to the table and you have those difficult but robust conversations, you can ultimately lead to an outcome that's a win-win for all.
What's your message to the Democratic Party and the Republican Party? And that might be different messages.
My message is really, it's one of unity and it's one of hope, and it's one of America. It's this idea that we should be running for something, that we need to put an end to the fear mongering, that a message that running for something is far more powerful than running against something. And I think that was demonstrated in some of the national results that we saw this week. You need to localize issues. You need to speak to people where they are and communicate with them in a language or through a venue that they're most comfortable with. I'm in a nonpartisan seat, although elected Democrat, but I'm hopeful that we can bridge a divide that seems to be growing here in America.
And Mr. Mayor, if there is a young kid who looks sort of like you and is watching this interview, what do you want to say to that individual?
Never shy away from who you are. Never be scared. Never be embarrassed. Accept your identity, and God willing, you'll be far more successful than any of us were able to. And if we're able to make that path a little bit easier, that's success within itself.
And final question, you've been in the Democratic leadership there in Lansing. You have a Democratic governor. I assume you're going to want to meet with her on a different level now. You already have a relationship. First time you have an opportunity to sit down one-on-one with Governor Whitmer. What are you going to say to her?
Thank you, Governor, for your leadership up in Lansing. But at the city of Dearborn, we have some issues that we need help facing. Two of which would be revenue sharing that we can hopefully increase for local municipalities. And the second is historic levels of funding for infrastructure that we'd love to see to help address some of these fundamental issues, be it roads, be it the flooding, and so on. And so we look forward to that partnership. and hopefully it's just the beginning of a new chapter.
So quick translation, you're going to be saying, Governor, I need a gravy train coming from Lansing to the city of Dearborn.
To some degree, I'm going to say that we at the local level know what's happening in our streets, in our neighborhoods.
Mayor-elect, thanks so much for joining us today on Spotlight, and best of luck to you in your new position. And coming up, we'll talk to two members of the Michigan Independent Citizens Redistricting Commission right after this. And welcome back to Spotlight. Joining me now is Brittany Kellum. She's a Democrat from the city of Detroit. She's a member of the Michigan Independent Citizens Redistricting Commission. And Doug Clark, he's a Republican from Rochester Hills. He's also a member of that commission. Welcome to Spotlight. You both doing okay?
Yes, doing well.
Yep.
Happy to be here.
Very good. Glad to have you. I know you're spending probably more time in Lansing these days than anywhere, even though you've been crisscrossing the state. Simple question. When you submitted those drafts and now you've actually submitted maps, you guys got the dander up of a whole lot of people and a lot of interest groups who are crying foul and saying you didn't do your job right. Do you feel as though you have not done your job right, or do you feel that the fact that you're getting so much attention says, yeah, we probably did the job right?
My opinion.
Oh, okay. I think we are doing the job right in terms of the process, right? I think the public engagement and the feedback that we're receiving and the passion is exactly what this process warrants and requires. And this is what happens when you have citizens, not politicians, redrawing the lines, and people are passionate about their communities of interest and the change and wanting to be involved. So that's my perception of what's going on. And it also challenges us to do not just a job, but to do a very good and equitable job.
Very good. Doug Clark, I'm going to give you a chance to answer the same question.
Yeah, I think we're doing a very good job. I'm happy on how things are going. We get a lot of input. For example, our portal, which we take written input, we've got over 10,000 entries in it, and that's significant. And I think we've gotten a lot of public input, and we're in the process of refining the maps we have so they can go out for more public input. And during the refining process, we're really gearing down on a lot of the public comments to make sure that they're adjusted appropriately as we move forward.
Sure. For those who maybe have been asleep, not following the process, or just confused with the process, give us a quick update because it's been changing weekly. Last week, you had drafts of the map. This week, you actually submitted maps. Tell the folks how many and how that breaks down.
Sure. Prior to 2 weeks ago, we had draft maps. They were put out on the website for people to look at and comment. And then we went on public hearings to 5 different cities in the state over 2 weeks. And during those public hearings, people had the opportunity to give us additional input. We've taken that input, we've adjusted our maps, and we're still doing that this week. And once we adjust them, we vote to promote them to our next phase, which will be a limited number of maps that we can't touch until the end of December. And if we touch it, this 45-day period of time that people have to look at them restarts. So basically, we've got a number of maps right now. We've got 3 congressional that we've approved for the 45-day period coming up. We've got 1 House map that we voted on and promoted yesterday, and we have 1 Senate map. And we're continuing to work on the Senate maps, primarily based on input from the Detroit hearings that we had.
Sure. Brittany, you have to submit these by December, have this stuff all wrapped up. Is it too late for people to still have input into the process of the drawing of these maps, because there's one that you're still kind of tinkering with, but how do people make that input, or is it too late for the public in this, you're just doing your own tweaking at this point?
So it's absolutely not too late. Again, as Commissioner Clark just referenced, there's a 45-day public comment period. But before that even happens, because Friday is when we vote, that's tomorrow, on what gets pushed forward, you're still welcome to comment on our public comment portal. You're welcome to attend our meetings, either in person or give virtual comment. And then as the maps are posted, please go in and actually comment in your areas or in general for the whole state of Michigan, so that we get real, live, specific feedback in terms of what the community would like to see. So I encourage and implore those citizens of Michigan to continue to share with us what they would like to see, good, bad, and indifferent, because that is ultimately all we have to go off of to make these changes and decisions.
All right. And when it's all said and done, do you figure that this is going to pit a lot of incumbents potentially against each other in ways that they have not been used to heretofore?
I'm not too worried about incumbents. I think I'm worried about addressing the communities of interest and those that have really expressed needing change in a way of empowerment and access in my community, especially as a Detroiter. And then I think our map process is going to make folks work, both getting out to vote and getting organized to make change. And it'll make those people that are officials work harder to do their job and connect with people as the commission has.
All right, we're going to take a quick little pause for the cause. We will come right back with some more questions right after this. And welcome back to Spotlight. Let me ask either one of you, last week on this program I had Ed Sarpolis, longtime pollster based out of Lansing, who I'm sure you all know well. He's been involved in redistricting process for close to 30 years. He said that when he looked at those maps, it looked as though you all were drawing maps for the state of Texas and all of the controversial stuff that we've heard coming out of that state. He said that you worked so hard to try to make sure that you weren't doing political gerrymandering, that you did racial gerrymandering and in violation of the 1965 Voting Rights Act. Who wants to respond to that? And did you go too far in one direction and now create a problem for yourself that will end up in the courts?
I don't believe we've created a problem at all. We started the process by taking a look at what we indicate as communities of interest. And we developed districts based on that. And then we moved on to another one of the constitutional requirements that Michigan has and look at it from a partisan fairness point of view. We've hired a partisan fairness consultant, and she's also a racial polarized voting analyst. And we've also hired a VRA attorney who has given us direction on how to move forward. And so that's been very helpful for us. And we constantly are in communication with them and asking them questions relative to, does this work according to the VRA or does this not work? And we get input from them.
Brittany Cullum, you come from the city of Detroit, large African-American population, very fast-growing Hispanic population, and various people of color. A lot of people are saying, wait a minute, Detroit is not represented fairly in this, and the minority representation is not fair, it's not balanced, and we've got a problem here. Is their criticism legitimate?
I think it, with any public comment, it begs the question for the commission to reassess. And it's no secret that I have been more passionate than what the public, as I'm a stranger to them, has seen me be. But I am an advocate at heart, and I think some of our decisions need to be reimagined. I think I am not afraid in a loving way to call some of my colleagues to the carpet and beg the question for us to dig deeper and do a better job for the city of Detroit and people of color all over the city of Michigan. So I am attuned to those issues because obviously, you know, I am a Black woman and I am a Detroiter, and I'm very connected as also a trauma specialist and working in the community about what certain decisions mean for our future. So I am in this process.
Sure, I'm sorry. What is it you see that you think some of your fellow commissioners don't see here?
Well, everybody can't be from everywhere, and I am only one of 2 commissioners from the city of Detroit. So it's going to require some explaining to explain the deep heritage of Detroit and the neighborhoods and the importance of reunifying them. And that's okay, because that's a part of this experience. We're all responsible for teaching each other things that we didn't know before, no matter the age, no matter the background. That's the beauty of being a part of this commission and being citizens, that we can bring our lived histories alive in these maps.
All right. Doug Clark, when all is said and done, and we're not sure exactly when that's going to happen, or once the legal side gets involved in this, do you think that the Michigan redistricting map will favor the Democratic Party or the Republican Party, or neither?
I think it's going to be partisan fair. I don't think it's going to favor either. Although people may get a misconception, because they may see, for example, House districts, they may see 60 of them Democratic and the remainder Republican, and see the difference. However, we've factored in some statistical analysis that we've gotten from our partisan fairness analyst, and that equals things out based on how voting patterns have gone for the past 10 years. So I think we're going to have very fair maps. I think this is a very successful project.
Brittany, you get the last question. I need a quick answer. Time's my worst enemy. Nancy Wang told me some months ago she expects you to get sued, but she also wants to make sure that the job was so well done that you'll be able to stand up to the lawsuits. Do you think that you and your commission will be able to stand up to the lawsuits?
Yes, I think if we do the job that we're tasked to do and stretch ourselves to listen to the community, and we have the justifications of understanding our constitutional requirements and partisan fairness and listening to COIs, I think we'll be just fine.
All right. Brittany Kellum and Doug Clark of the Michigan Independent Citizens Redistricting Commission, thank you so much for joining us today from Spotlight. Let's stay in touch.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And I'm Chuck Stokes. We'll be back next week with more newsmakers in the Spotlight. We hope you have a great week.